Tony.
This is episode number 5 of the ToJo. No one has died.
Yeah. No, everybody.
No one has complained.
Yeah, it's been great.
If you're complaining, keep it to yourself.
Right.
Anyway, hey, we wanted to talk about this last week and also next week, of course, because that's what we do here at the ToJo.
Always looking forward to the future.
We had actually a really good, different meeting this last week with our professionalism and communication panel discussion. I just want to say, especially thank you to Matt, Sally, and Ravneet, who were our panelists. And it was great just to have them come in and bring a different perspective outside of our normal real estate brain way of thinking, I think, and give us kind of a corporate perspective of dealing with problems, how we solve problems, how we deal with change. I thought they did a phenomenal job.
They did a great job. I know we could have, we had a lot of people in our office that we could have invited to do that. Mm-hmm. Those three really presented and handled themselves in a way. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I knew what we were asking for, but they were great.
We know we were hoping for.
Right. They were great. So again, thank you for that. You three were phenomenal. And amazing. I took a whole page of notes. So still learning every day from everybody. So thank you again.
Yeah. I mean, I love the fact that, it's one of the things I've always enjoyed about our brokerage anyway, is just we have such a great diverse group of agents and everybody has something to contribute.
Everybody.
And so if we haven't asked you yet, don't worry, your time is coming.
We will. Couple takeaways, Tony. What were just a couple of key points that you were like, wow, that really shook the sugar tree.
Yeah. Sugar tree?
Is that what the way it is?
Cane.
Sugar cane?
Cane or a beet, if you're from here.
Okay.
But we digress. Anyway, no, I thought just in general, I felt like everybody really had just some great perspectives in giving us a different view. We've been talking about and ad nauseum, quite honestly, about all the ways we can work around this deal instead of just stopping and saying, all right, what are these things that we are faced with? How do we deal with it? And I think just by stepping out away from the real estate perspective specifically, I think there was just some great things. Ravneet, I won't take her line because Joe has already claimed.
I did claim it.
That she wants to share what Ravneet shared because it was very insightful.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, Tony, I'll just go right into it.
Put it on there.
So, with all that's going on with the NAR settlement and everything we're learning, Ravneet had this that she said she heard, and it was understand the complexity, but deliver the simplicity. And I was like, write that down. And I actually just got some chills. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I just got some chills just saying that because it really made so much sense. And you were like, yes, that's what we need to hear right now. So, the other one that I took away was, respond with, don't just react. Right. Yeah. And also process and then proceed. So I thought those were really good. It kind of goes back to what we talked about a couple of weeks ago with our, the acronym. What was it? IFTS or IFS? IFS. I really felt like, wow, it keeps coming full circle of how we as real estate agents and professionals should be handling ourselves. But again, process and then proceed.
Yeah. And, I think if we can all just remind ourselves to, with anything we're dealing with is we don't need to answer immediately. Mm-hmm. And if we don't know, it's okay to also say, I don't know. Let me follow up on that and I'll get back to you timely.
Yeah.
So I thought it was great. I thought everyone had just some incredible stuff. And from the group coming back, I thought we had some great questions that came from the audience as well. So good job, everybody.
Thank you. Right after that, we went on a little tour of a couple of Parade of Homes houses. There was a group of us, about a dozen of us got together and we just had a really good time. Sarah was able to go with us. She had her camera going, so she was able to take some fun clips of these houses. And man, were these houses beautiful. And so Parade of Homes goes through the 17th. I think it goes through tomorrow. Yep. If you don't have a ticket, you can go to any one of the houses and buy the ticket to go through whatever houses you want to go to. But it was absolutely great. It was a fun time, and it was nice to see some of the agents that don't necessarily get to mingle with each other on a daily basis, get to kind of know each other. And it was a good time. So I look forward to doing that again next year, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
It was really well worth it. So, yeah. We have some upcoming events and some really important announcements to share. So the first announcement I want is really just to talk about that trust account, that trust account. I'm not sure if I can emphasize enough what the deadlines are for getting that trust money, that earnest money in your hands by that fourth day. If you don't, then we put your client in default. And so very important that you get that within that fourth day. And if something comes up and you don't get it in that fourth day, you absolutely need to advise the other side and let them know what the situation is and when that money will be in hand. We are getting a lot of people asking about wiring funds into our trust account. And as you know, starting July 1st, we switched over to America First Credit Union for our trust account. There is a fee that we do charge back to the agent if your clients wire those funds. And what we're doing is we are just simply charging back what the credit union is charging our business trust account. And that is, we were charging you guys $15. It is actually $25. So all incoming or outgoing wires, whether it be in the trust account or the commission account, there will be a $25 charge back to you. So if that's not an issue, great. A lot of people don't have a problem with that. I understand that clients are out of town and they might need to wire those funds. Then that's a convenience for them. So just know that will go back to you. The other thing is when you are giving your clients or title companies our trust or commission account instructions, it is imperative that you ask that they call and verify those instructions. There is a process that Sarah and myself go through when somebody calls to verify those instructions. We want to ask who it's for, what the property address and what the agent's name is and the amount coming through. So if you know your clients are going to be sending money to the trust account and they don't verify with us, it is your responsibility to let Sarah or myself know what the amount is, where it's coming from the day they said they wired it, and the property address that it's hooked to. And another way that we can, hopefully we don't have to do a lot of hunting and searching when it comes to that, Tony, but another way we do that is we go into SkySlope to try to track your transactions. So if you're not getting your transactions in SkySlope within 72 hours, 3 days, then we're going to have a little bit more of a difficult time tracking that. And we need to be as transparent as possible on that trust account. We get audited on that trust account. We have to balance it out every month. So again, that earnest money and that trust money is so important, not only to you and your clients, but to the brokerage and the responsibility of our broker, our branch broker, and also our principal broker, Brandon. So, I can't reiterate that enough. I've scared Sarah so much about the trust account that, it's a massive responsibility for us. So please be respectful of that.
This isn't new.
It's not new.
And that's the point. If you are unclear on this, one, we have the documentation already, but if you have questions, you need more help, call one of us, any of us, so we can make sure that you clearly understand that, because, it is without question one of the most important, if not the most important thing that we have to manage in here.
Yeah. So. And what's trending right now as far as trust checks go is the two not being written out to Signature Real Estate Utah. We've had a couple where it's been written out to just Signature. We've had a couple where it's Signature Utah and then somebody's name. So when when you're receiving those checks, please ensure that it says Signature Real Estate Utah and that they have signed on the signature section and not endorsed it on the back. We do run into this. I know it's hard to believe, but we just need to make sure that those trust checks are proper. Otherwise, we just can't get those in the account. We have to call you back, and that puts a delay in the whole process.
I'm sorry.
Next, if you I'm just kind of leading this back into it. So, talking about settlement, if you are anticipating that your earnest money in our trust needs to be released to a title company, it needs to be released back to a client for whatever reason, before settlement, we need to know those details. If you get to us the day of your closing of signing and the title company needs a wire, there's a pretty good chance we're not going to be able to get that out to them in the same day. Our company policy right now is if we can cut a check out of our account, that's the route we want to go. And they're all certified funds, as you know, because our trust account has to be up to date. But rushing out and wiring funds is not something that is beneficial for anybody if we don't know about it. And so in the event you have a settlement where we have an overage in earnest money for whatever reason, we are going to request that the title company send us those settlement statements, even if they're not signed yet. We have to verify that what they have on file and what we have on file matches. So please be prepared when it comes to settlement. And if you need some tips on how to work through that or get on the same page, reach out to us. Again, we're always available.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
See, I didn't have to get mad.
No,
that's so nice. Thank you, Joe.
You know what? It's been a good week, hasn't it?
It's been a great week. So let's talk about, we started out what we were talking about was practicing scripts. Mm-hmm. We're going to try it a different way. Okay. Maybe scripts are scary. They don't need to be, but another way we can talk about this is, if you want to meet and talk about, again, because we have these new forms, this new way of doing things, maybe another way to talk about this is how to have critical conversations with our clients or with agents on the other side. Look, we are here. Joe's here. I'm here. Sarah's here. We are a resource to you. Use us. We really want to make sure that you guys are the best agents in the business. Okay. Let us help you on that. And again, I am here on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 to 9 solely for the purpose of asking or answering any questions you might have, helping you walk through how do we have these complicated or difficult conversations. I raised 2 boys. There's not many difficult conversations I haven't had at some point or another. So anyway, we'd love to help you with that. Also, I think this will probably be the last time we're going to talk about this. I think
so, yeah.
The mega event, our movie night at the park. If you want to participate, we still have 4 spots open, and we are shutting that off come Wednesday of next week. That's Wednesday, August 21st, last chance. If you want to participate, you need to get with us so we can get you in and make sure you have invitations and get them out to your clients in time that they can actually plan for that. So again, reach out to Sarah, Jolie, myself. Let us know that if you're interested in doing that. We have 4 spots left. Cost us $550.
Great. It's a great opportunity. The other thing is next week, Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. sales meeting. We have switched up that sales meeting time to 10:30 a.m. We do have a special guest here. It will be an estate sales representative to talk about estate sales. So make sure you show up for that sales meeting at 10:30 on Tuesday. And then, over to you, Tony, on this one.
Yeah. And I would just say that guy with the estate sales, Alan, high energy. Actually his program's a pretty good program for sellers if they've got a lot of stuff they need to deal with. I've seen sellers actually make some money off of it.
Excellent.
So pretty good. Anyway, Wednesday, 10 a.m., I am going to be presenting a class on how to create annual reviews and equity evaluations for your clients. I have found this has been one of the absolute best tools to get a conversation going with your clients. And they can actually be clients that aren't clients yet, but they may be homeowners.
Yeah.
Because all of the information is readily available. We can pull that information together, send that to them proactively and just say, hey, I thought you'd be interested to know what your property values are worth right now based on the current market conditions. If you want to know more, let's have a conversation. We can start from, the national perspective from FHFA.gov, and then we break it down into the local, down into their neighborhood stats of what's going on. So it's a really good, simple process. You can literally do one of these in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not an overwhelming thing, but it's a very valuable tool. And I'll be teaching you how to do that next Wednesday.
That'll be an excellent class. I actually look forward to sitting through that again and just really getting refreshed on it. And then Thursday at 10 a.m., we have a CE class. Title Guarantee is going to be bringing in a class called Managing Your Sphere. So show up for that at 10 a.m. Is it not at 10?
It is at 10. That's just not what it's called.
Oh, what's it called?
It is called Managing Your Database.
Oh, my goodness.
Real estate referrals.
Managing your database for real estate referrals. Oh my goodness. I must have just not typed the list correctly. Welcome to Joe World. That'll be an excellent class. So 10 o'clock a.m. Plan on being here for that. And then Thursday afternoon, since we're having that class, it kind of just flows into what our next office event will be, which is Call Your Sphere.
Put it to use.
So Call Your Sphere, 3:30 to 5. We'll be doing just a call around. And then following that, we're just going to do happy hour until 6, or what we like to call realtor therapy. So show up from 3:30 to 5 to make some calls if you want. Show up from 5 to 6 to just mingle and network with other agents in our office.
Right.
Last time we did it, we had a great time. We laughed and we were done by 6. So it really is a good time. And then on Friday, we're going to start a little something new. Next Friday, 10 a.m., we're going to call it Mastermind with Coffee and Conversation. And I'm going to go ahead and lead this first one. And what we're going to do is we are going to watch some sort of a lead generating type video, YouTube, whatever it is. And then afterwards, we're going to mastermind how we can put that to good use in our market, in your sphere, in your farm, your neighborhood, whatever. So it'll be great. That will start at 10 a.m. and then we will go through that. It'll be, I really hope it will be beneficial for those agents that just need that time to just start throwing some ideas around and what has helped or maybe hasn't helped other people, and how they can make it and have it go better. One thing, Tony, as I'm talking about that, is yesterday I had a very long conversation on the phone with an agent that was with our brokerage, who went to a big brokerage, and she was calling back to ask how we had changed. And I was like, well, this and that and this and that. And one of the things in this, you know it. And
did I mess you up?
I don't know. Sarah's giving us producer.
Is she doing this, like wrap it up?
Is that what you're doing? Is like wrap it up? Or anyway, she called, and one of the things that I asked her was, have you gone up to those agents within that brokerage and asked them how they got those 3 listings this week? Like, how are they generating their business? And maybe they've been in the industry for a long time, maybe they haven't, but she said no, they don't really share that information. And I was like, wow,
door closed, head down.
Yeah.
Right?
And I am just so, I know I'm grateful for the environment that we create here, where we are so collaborative and just, we have energy. We want to share, we want to be a team. And so fingers crossed, we will get that phone call back from her saying she might want to come back in and return. But ultimately, it's about paying it forward.
Exactly.
And givers gain. And if you're in BNI, you know what that means. But I really just think that we're just the best. We're absolutely the best. I'm going to toot our horn every single day. And I just really appreciate all the opportunities that we're getting with these agents lately. And we're struggling. We have some challenges. We're not struggling, but we have some challenges. We've had some really critical conversations, but we are working through those. And I think we're just growing and getting better every day with it.
I think part of why we're feeling that is Joe and I have taken an active approach of, we're challenging our own norms, right?
Yes.
Just because we've always done something that way doesn't mean we should keep doing it that way. And so it's been a very healthy, like, we're doing this. Why are we doing this? Is it working? Can we do it better? And sometimes it can be uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean we don't do it.
That's right. That's right.
And we're going to continue to do that because we want to be better. We want to be better than the best.
Yeah.
Right? If that makes sense.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So good week.
Good week.
Hope to see you next week. And
show up, learn more.
You know what's next, people.
ToJo out.